Hello, do you still believe in the Santa Rally in stocks? Well, I am back with a second video today on this belief about a Santa Rally, this time based on a European large cap index. In my previous video of today, which you can find via the link on the screen, or simply search the title on my YouTube channel called Lapping Analytics, I compare month-to-month performance of the S&P 500 over the past 23 years. And in this video, I zoom in on the day-to-day performance of the Dutch Large Cap Index, the AEX, to show if there is any kind of meaningful trend in stock performance within December, so within the month of December, that can be considered a Santa rally. In other words, superior performance of stocks around the arrival of Santa Claus and his reindeers. So I am Jimmy Lapping, a psychologist and statistician with loads of interest in research, including the financial markets. And since a week or six ago, I also have my own YouTube channel. So what I am going to do in this video is use the daily performance of the Dutch AEX as expressed in a percentage gain or loss in a day for each December month in the previous 30 years. So starting with December 1993 and ending with December of 2022. This year's December has only had one trading day thus far, which I have not included in this analysis, but is not necessary either, because in this scatter plot of the past 30 years, we have just over 600 trading days, just about 20 or 21 per month. Because, of course, during weekends and the central Christmas days, the stock market traditionally remains closed, which also explains why for day 25 and 26 in this month we have no data. So at first, this scatter plot does not appear to indicate any kind of trend in terms of relatively better performance in the second half versus in the first half of December. And when we calculate the best fitting straight line, we get this almost perfectly horizontal line. One almost needs a microscope to see that this line is not exactly but only approximately horizontal. Now, some may say, yeah, well, but why would the trend be linear? You are right. So let's see what the best fitting non-straight line looks like. And while we hardly see a deviation from a horizontal flat line, it's almost, as we say in Dutch, zo plat als een dubbeltje, or in a not exactly literal translation, as flat as a coin. So when we compare four regression models in terms of the proportion of variation in daily performance that we can explain by the model, also referred to as R squared, and two information criteria, Akaikis information criterion or AIC and Schwartz Bayesian information criterion or BIC, we get the following. In terms of R squared, higher values are generally better, but the AIC and BIC help to appreciate if the increase in R squared value with a more complex model is substantial enough to justify that increased complexity. And for both AIC and BIC, lower values indicate a better model. So for the situation of which we just saw the chart, the null model is actually to be preferred. Although the cubic model helps to explain about 1% of the differences in daily performance in the sample of just over 600 December trading days of the previous 30 years, this percentage is not large enough for AIC or BIC to prefer this model over the null model. And the null model is basically a horizontal flatline model, indicating that there is no Santa rally. If there was such a thing like a substantial Santa rally in a sample of over 600 trading days, that would have surely been detected in terms of one of the alternatives, linear, quadratic, or cubic, showing a substantially better performance than the null model. But with the data at hand, we have no evidence whatsoever in favor of a Santa rally. And although this example, like the example in the previous video, only uses time series data from one specific stock market index, as I demonstrate in several of my videos on this channel, there is a rather strong correlation between different stock market indices, meaning that good weeks in one index tend to go together with good weeks in another index, bad weeks in one index tend to go together with bad weeks in another index, and the same applies at the level of days and months instead of weeks. So before you make any decisions anticipating on a possible Santa rally, I invite you to do your own research with the index that you are interested in order to see if the picture is any different from what you've seen in this video. But based on the analysis that I have done with several other indices, I very much doubt that you are going to reach different conclusions for your index. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you find this useful, and if you have any ideas or suggestions for future videos, you can leave a comment below this video or just drop an email using the email address shared below this video. Thank you for listening, have a good day, and see you soon.